What does that mean? First of all, good morning again. Good morning once again, beta.
Good morning, ma'am.
Today's thought of the day is education is for improving the
Improvement.
lives of others. What does that mean? Can you explain? Why not? It's written the lives of others. What about lives of yourself? Because if you're educated, you have already improved your life, beta. Do you understand what I said just now? If you are educated, you have already improved your life. And that education, whoever is with you, whoever is around you, will automatically get the benefit of you being educated because you are in some way or the other, directly or indirectly, supporting their lives, enhancing their lives, bettering their lives. Is this clear? Hello? Did you understand what I said?
Yes,
So education never goes waste, beta. Again, I tell you, education is not what you are doing in school. School is studies, and along with studies, you are being educated. And education means what? That you should have an eye to see beyond certain things. That is education. You should be able to understand and work accordingly. And if at all you do mistakes, while doing so, learn from those mistakes. That means you are not dependent on anyone, you are dependent on yourself. So you're in charge of your whatever deed you are doing in your life. Is this clear? Is this clear? Huh, beta? Is this clear? Hello? Hello? So the best part is seek education from wherever you can get. You can be educated. First school is your home. So education starts at home. Your parents are your teachers. First, you are being educated at home, then you are being educated at school. The only thing is that you should have eye to take that education. Understood, beta? Hello? Understood?
yes, ma'am.
Yes. With that note, we start our lecture. We have done activity 3, I think so. The first activity was to
मैम
separate
अभी
combustible substance and non-combustible substance. Remember?
मैम अभी तो कोई नहीं आया है.
Does not matter. Does not matter. I'm not going to wait for anyone. You people are there, it's enough for me. Is this clear? Do you understand what I'm saying, beta? So the first activity was to separate or to classify combustible substance and non-combustible substance, inflammable substance and non-inflammable substance. Right, beta? Activity 2. Activity 2 showed that air helps in combustion. Air is a must for the combustion process. Is it right? Hello. Now tell me what is the activity 3, beta? What we did activity 3 is? Can you tell me? Any of you? This one. Ignition temperature. Right, beta? What is the activity 3? Ignition temperature. That ignition temperature of all the materials are different. Ignition temperature of paper is less than the ignition temperature of metal. Is this clear? That was the third activity. Now we are doing the fourth activity. Please read with us. Shifa, start reading. Girls, start reading with her. Can you hear me? Hello? 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 Girls, are you there? Hello? Girls, can you hear me? Shifa? Can anyone read the slide? Ma'am, please check whether I'm audible or not. Whether girls can hear me.
Yes, sir.
Yes, then better start reading.
Make two paper cups by folding a sheet of paper. Pour about 50 milliliters of water in one of the cups. Heat both the cups separately with a candle. Happens
There's
to
a full
the
stop. Please pause when there's a full stop.
what happens to the empty paper cup? What happens to the paper cup with water? Does water in this cup become hot? What do you observe?
Is that you, Shifa? You are
Yes,
reading,
ma'am.
Shifa? You're not keeping well? Don't seem to be keeping well better.
अभी
Have
अभी
you
उठी
folded
हूँ ना
tea?
इसलिए नहीं मैम अभी अभी उठी नहीं इसलिए
Okay. Then freshen up better. Go and have a wash. Okay,
यस
and
मैम
then join. Do that. Okay. You cannot study like this. You should not do that, beta. Freshen up and then join. Okay. You don't sound okay, so that's why I had to ask you whether you are okay or not. Take
ओके
a break and freshen up and then come back. Now what we are going to do, we are taking cups, two paper cups, right beta? One is this one and the other one is this one. Two paper cups, right beta? And then there's a candle. We are giving flame, heating it. One is empty, the other one is with water. Is this clear? One is empty and the other has got water. Right beta? Then you are heating it with the help of candle. What will happen? What do you see? What will happen? Just give me an idea. What is going to happen? What will happen in number one? And what will happen in number two? Tell me.
The paper without the water will burn.
Okay, very good. And the paper with water will not burn. That is what you want to say?
Not good.
Okay, will not burn. What about the water? What about the water? What will happen to the water?
It will not be
It will be
hot.
it will be hot. Exactly. Agree. So what is the problem? Ignition temperature of paper will be achieved by the candle. Is this clear? Whereas when the paper is with water, the ignition temperature is not achieved. Is this understandable? And that's the reason that the paper with water is not burning because it is not getting the ignition temperature. Is this clear to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
All of you
Yes, ma'am.
understood better?
Yes, ma'am.
In this case, in the number one case, the ignition temperature is achieved. It is attained. It is obtained by the candle. So it starts burning. So it burns. Now, in this case, the paper cup is having water. So obviously, the temperature of the paper cup has come down. Agree? In the presence of water, it has come down. You agree? Now, I'm
Yes,
heating it with the candle. First, the paper will get heated and then that heat will travel to water. Yes or no? So
yes,
the water will become warm. But remember, water is getting warmer by the presence of the paper cup. But the paper cup is not obtaining the ignition temperature with which it can burn. Is this clear?
yes,
Yes? So this one burns and this does not burn. I hope you have understood this activity. All of you?
yes,
Read the observations better.
yes. Observation. If we continue heating the cup, we can even boil water in the paper cup. Can you think of an explanation for this phenomenon? The heat the heat supplied to the paper cup is
Don't repeat better.
transferred to water.
Zara, is that you, Zara?
No,
Then who is it? Aisha?
no, more this.
Modessa. So, Modessa, don't rush, first of all.
Yes,
Okay. And whenever there's a question mark, ask question. Can you think of an explanation for this phenomenon? You're asking a question, right, beta? So your tone should change.
yes,
Now, with the full stop, it's the same tone. With the question mark, with the exclamatory mark, it's the same tone. No, it should not be, right, beta? So your tone should change,
yes,
right? So put all these things when you're reading it. Okay, beta? Start.
yes. The heat supplied to the paper cup is transferred to water by conduction. So, in the presence of water, the ignition temperature of paper is not reached. Hence, it does not burn.
Fine, good, thank you. Have you understood something out of this matter? Right.
Yes,
Off your mic. Lots of disturbance in someone's mic. I don't know whose mic is it. Please put off your mic. Thank you. What are they saying? The paper cup, empty paper cup is already burnt. So let's leave that aside because it got its own ignition temperature and started burning. That is gone. Now let's come to the paper cup with water, right, beta? So here we are describing the paper cup with water. Is clear? Hello.
yes, ma'am.
So now you are heating the cup. You're not stopping. The candle is on. You're heating the cup. You can even boil the water in the paper cup. Can you imagine? Why? This is paper cup. This is paper cup and this is water. Paper cup is solid bitter.
Yes,
I've taught you how you boil your water in the vessel, metallic vessel. Yes or no? What is the
yes, yes.
method? What is the method? Convection. Remember?
Yes.
You heard of that, no? Conduction, convection, radiation. Remember that?
Yes.
We done? Yes, fine. So what is happening over here? Convection. From solid, it's going to liquid. The solid is getting heated. What is the solid over here? Paper cup, right, beta? And from there, it is going to the water. So when, what is a paper cup doing? Paper cup is conducting heat from the candle to the water. Is this clear?
Yes.
Two things are happening, conduction as well as convection. First, the paper cup is getting heated and the water is in touch with the paper cup. So it is conducting or convection, currents are on, and that's how the water even can start boiling in the paper cup. So heat to the paper cup is transferred to water by conduction because this paper cup is giving the heat to the water, and when the water starts boiling, it is due to convection. Is this understandable?
Yes, ma'am.
You know that convection currents we get in water as well as in gas. Remember? If you remember all
Yes.
this thing, whatever I taught you earlier. So conduction is what? When you're in touch with someone. So the solid, that is the paper cup, is in touch with water. So paper cup is conducting heat to the water. Is this clear? And the water gets
Yes.
heated, and then the water circulates. The convection current starts in the water. So bottom water will be warmer, it goes up. The colder
Yes.
water will come down, and the convection current goes on and on till the water starts boiling. Right, beta? So
Yes, ma'am.
now the temperature of the paper cup will never reach its ignition temperature. Is it not? Does not. I mean, don't you agree? Because the paper cup, whatever energy it is getting from the candle, is going to the water. So it is not getting its ignition temperature, and hence it does not burn. Is this clear?
Yes,
Is this
ma'am.
clear, Victor?
Yes.
Read.
Inflammable substance.
Uh, adjust
The
your mic, please.
substances which have a
Adjust your
very
mic.
low ignition temperature
Who
and
is
can
it?
easily catch fire with
Please
paper
stop it,
or
Victor.
Miss
Stop
Shifa.
it.
other substances.
Victor, ask her to stop it.
Miss
Put
Shifa,
off your
stop.
mic, Victor. Put off your mic, Victor. Is that you, Shifa?
Yes, ma'am. She's Shifa.
Yeah, ask her that there's something wrong with the mic system. Tell her to take care and then read. Because once you opening it up, I cannot hear a voice. Can you hear?
No, ma'am.
That is the problem. There's something wrong. Earlier it was okay, now it is not. Shifa,
मैम
just
अभी
check
आ
your
रहा
mic.
है
No, still there is a background.
Disturbance, ma'am.
मैम
Yeah,
अभी
lot
आ
of.
रहा है
Now better. Now read.
The substances which have a very low ignition temperature and can easily catch fire with a flame are called inflammable substances. Example: petrol, alcohol, liquid, petroleum gas, LPG, etc.
Liquefied, better. It's not liquid, it is liquefied.
Liquefied petroleum gas, LPG, etc.
Now, substances which have very low ignition temperature, that means it can catch fire very fast, right, better? If it is low
Yes.
ignition temperature, what does that mean? That as soon as you get the candle near, flame near the substance, it starts burning, right? That is called as low ignition temperature. These substances are called as inflammable substances. If you're going on the road or if you're going on highway, you can see oil tankers, beta, petroleum tankers, written highly
Yes,
explosive, inflammable substances, keep 10-meter distance. Don't they write over there on the tanker? So keep a distance, right? Why? Because even a spark, even a change in temperature can make it explosive, can make it explosive, can create even an accident. So that's the reason that because it may burst. So if you keep a distance with the tanker, obviously you will not be harmed. You understand? So
yes,
this inflammable substance are the substances which can catch fire even with a little bit of temperature, little bit of energy.
Mother Saturn my
Example, petrol, alcohol, LPG, that is what we are using. And even you must have heard of, cylinder getting burst. Why? Because there may be certain leakage, and uh, while burning it on, while igniting it, it will reach the cylinder, and the cylinder will be like a bomb. You understand what I'm saying? We have to be very,
yes,
very careful when we are using all these substances because it catches fire very easily. So this is LPG beta. Can you see this LPG? This is what you
yes,
use at home, right beta?
yes.
This is what you use at home. Now we
Condition
see
necessary
conditions.
for condition necessary for combustion. The conditions necessary for combustion are number one fuel, number two air to supply oxygen, number three heat to rise the temperature by beyond the ignition temperature. A substance will not burn without one or more of these conditions.
Now, what are the things that is? What are the factors rather? What are the condition means factors, which is essential for combustion, for burning process. First one is fuel. What is the meaning of fuel, beta? It is something to burn, isn't it? So that is called fuel. The
yes,
substance which will
Yes,
burn is called as fuel, right? That's the first thing that we require. Second is presence of air, because in air we have oxygen, and oxygen is the factor, is one of the again the factor which helps in burning, which helps in combustion. Because if there is no
yes,
air, there will be no burning. Third, we need the ignition temperature, right, beta? If you don't get the ignition temperature, the fuel will not burn. Is this clear? So we need energy in the form of
yes,
heat. All these substances, all these factors should be available for anything to burn. Is this clear?
Yes.
yes,
Fuel we want air, that is oxygen, and we want the ignition temperature. All these three should be there, then and then only the substance will burn, otherwise it will not burn. If it burns, then it becomes inflammable substances. Is this clear?
yes,
yes,
ma'am.
So if you remove fuel, the substance will not burn. If you remove air, it will not burn. If you remove the
substance,
ignition temperature, it will not burn. Is this understandable?
yes.
Yes,
Right, Beta?
I am.
Now, what are the requirements?
Requirements to start a
Requirements to
fire.
start fire.
We have learned that there are
Now, Shifa, stop
two
it.
essential
Hello. Now, next, who will read, Beta?
Can I,
Huh?
can I,
What's your name? What's your name?
Narani Mahdi,
Rajati Mohdesa. Were you reading earlier?
Narani Mahdi.
Nayani Mohdesa. So were you reading earlier? You're
Yes,
reading for the first time?
no, no, Shifa is,
Shifa was reading. Okay, now you start. Okay, Mohdesa, you start. Read properly, okay?
yes. Requirements to start a fire. You have learned that there are three essential requirements for producing fire. You can list its requirements. These are fuel, air to supply
Good,
oxygen,
beta.
and heat
Modesta, good.
to raise the,
Good, I
to
said.
raise the temperature. Thank
The
you,
way
ma'am.
you read the question, it was good.
Thank you. To raise the temperature of fuel beyond the ignition temperature. Fire can be controlled by removing one or more of these requirements. The job of a fire extinguisher is to cut off the supply of air or to bring down the temperature of the fuel, or both. Notice that the fuel in the most cases cannot be
Eliminated.
eliminated eliminated
Eliminated.
eliminated. If, for instance, a building catches fire, the whole building is the fuel.
What did you understand from this slide, Modesta?
Mm.
What did you
That to
understand?
control, yes,
What did you understand? Just tell me whatever comes to your mind, say. You read it
yes,
out.
fire.
What you understood? Yeah.
To control fire, we can remove one or more than substance which are used
Don't
to
read it. Beta, don't read. Don't read the slide. I just want what you understood. Give your own version. Give your own statement. I don't want you to read the
to
slide
con-
again.
to control fire. If we remove oxygen, so the fire can be controlled and it will not uh, it will not burn anything more. And if a building catches a fire,
Okay.
then the building which
Fuel. It's a fuel.
is
So we
known
have
as
to what we have to do? We have to cut off fire, cut off air. Isn't it? What we have to do?
cut off air
Cut off air. So
or
the
ignition.
fire can be controlled. Is this clear? If the building is on
Yes,
fire, what is the building is doing? Building is becoming a fuel. Building becomes the fuel because it is on fire. Is this clear? The candle is on
yes,
fire, or the coal is on fire, the wood is on fire. What are they? They are fuel. They are burning. Now, if the house is burning, the house becomes fuel because it is burning. It becomes an inflammable substance, right, Rita? Now, I don't want
yes,
it to keep on burning, so I have to control it. What do? I cut off the air. What I do, Rita? I cut off the air. That's the best way to control the fire.
fire.
So, what are the three things that is required to make a fire? Fuel,
Fuel, air
the
to supply
temperature burn.
oxygen, and heat to raise the temperature.
What is the raising the temperature? That's ignition temperature. What are we talking about?
Ignition temperature.
Ignition temperature. So one is
Ignition.
fuel, the substance which burns, the presence of air, and the third, the ignition temperature. Is this understandable?
Yes,
Now, fire you can control. How? Either you remove one or more than one. For example, you remove fuel or air or heat. Or you can remove air and heat, or you can remove fuel and air. It all depends upon you, whatever is available. Now, whenever there's a fire, what you hear on road? The fire extinguisher truck. It goes, right, with the fire brigade. What
yes.
goes? The fire brigade. And with the
Uh,
jingle of the bells, right? They keep on jingling the bell so that it's an emergency, so that a road becomes empty. Is this clear? And this is the what is the job of
yes.
fire extinguisher? That they cut the supply of air better. How do they do?
Cut
They
the
cut the supply
temperature.
of by how they when they pour water. So when they're pouring water on the houses or on the buildings, what is happening? The ignition temperature is brought down. Is this clear? When the ignition temperature is brought down, so obviously, see, water, they're spraying water, so it is cool. That means the fuel, the whole house is the fuel. The temperature of the fuel has come down. That means the ignition temperature is lowered down. Right, beta? So they're doing both. They're cutting off the supply of air as well as they're bringing down the ignition temperature. So you can control the fire. You cannot remove the fuel. Can you remove the fuel? But the thing which is burning, can you remove it? For example, let's talk about
No.
the forest fires. Forest fires. Can you remove forest? You cannot. The fuel is already there. The only thing you can do is to have a control over it. Understood, beta? Now we
Yes.
say forest. Forest is on fire. The whole forest becomes fuel. Building is on fire. The whole building becomes the fuel. Now, can you eliminate it? Can you remove it? No. But we can control it.
No.
Is this clear?
Yes.
Beta? All
Yes.
of you? All of you understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Now see,
Yes, ma'am.
this is the fire triangle. Now it will be easy for you to understand. So, what exactly is happening? Why the things are on fire? Because some reaction is going on. So you can see this fire. Can you see this fire in the center?
Yes.
What it is doing? It is reacting. What it is doing, beta? It is reacting. What are the
Yes.
presence? What are the factors of an inflammable substance or a combustible substance? Why that substance become combustible? Because
Oxygen, heat, and fuel.
and fuel. The presence of all these things will make fire. Is this clear? And so it is called as fire triangle. What
Yes.
it is called? Fire triangle. So in
Fire
this
triangle.
presence, in the presence of oxygen, in the presence of heat, in the presence of fuel. Now what is this heat? This is ignition temperature. What is this, beta?
Ignition temperature. Yes.
All of you understood, beta? That is fine.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
So when we are having this substances which are present over there, then and then only we can have fire. If one is missed out, we will not have fire. Understood, beta?
Yes.
Now, how do we control fire?
How do we control fire? The conditions
Who's
necessary for
reading?
producing fire
Who's
are,
reading?
yes, ma'am,
Who's reading? Who is reading?
Lakani Shifa.
Okay, Sifa, now take a break, beta. You have read around 3 or 4 slides. Let's
No,
allow
ma'am,
others also.
Mahdi read.
Now,
No,
Modesa
ma'am.
read just now, one slide. Before that, you read it.
Ma'am, one time more.
Huh?
Ma'am, last time, one time more.
Okay. But read properly. I'm not able to understand what you are reading. That's why I stopped
How
you.
do we how do we control fire? The conditions necessary for producing fire are
The
fuel,
same thing.
air
The
to
same thing.
supply oxygen.
The same thing as the last slide. Remember? But there's something extra that you have to take care. Read with it.
Heat to raise the temperature of the fuel beyond its ignition temperature. Fire can be controlled by removing any one or more of these conditions. A fire extinguisher cuts off the supply of air or brings down the temperature of the fuel or both and controls the fire.
You have to improve. Okay? Super. You understand what I'm saying?
What, ma'am?
You have to improve in reading. Keep practicing at home. This is the fire extinguisher. Can you see that? This
Yes,
one.
ma'am.
This is the fire extinguisher, right, beta? Please put off your mic. And this is how it works. This is the fire extinguisher and this flame. And you can have a control over fire. Please put off your mic. This is the fire brigade. Can you see this, beta?
Yes.
Yes.
It looks like forest. Forest. Just read.
I'm Zahra. How do we control fire? When a fire brigade arrives, what does it do? It pours water on the fire. Water cools the combustible material so that its temperature is brought below its ignition temperature. This prevents the fire from spreading. Water vapors also surround the combustible material, helping in cutting off the supply of air, so the fire is extinguished.
Now you know how it does work, how the fire extinguishers or the fire brigade is working. Did you understand?
Yes.
So, fire brigade comes when there's a fire somewhere. First of all, it pours the water with the water hose. The pipes, the big pipes are known as hose. What it is, beta? Read with me. Hose. The big pipes through which the water is uh, forced out with the pressure is known as water hose. So when they are flowing water with a high pressure, it goes to a large distance. Remember that. Very first thing what it does is it temperature is brought down. Is this clear? Very first
Yes.
thing it does is when it is pouring water on the fuel, the temperature is brought down below the ignition temperature. So it is controlled. It is cooling down the fuel, right, beta? So fire does not spread. Fire does not spread. That's the very first thing that it does. Next, you already know that whenever, if at all you're cooking, for example, or you're helping a mama, so on the hot tawa, if you just sprinkle water, you get a sound, crackling sound, and then a steam comes out. Have you observed that? I'm talking about the hot
Yes,
tawa. Steam comes out. What is the
Yes,
steam?
ma'am.
Steam is, what is steam, beta? What is
Water
steam,
water
vapor.
beta?
vapor.
You can understand. I'm just talking about tawa. Now the whole building has become like tawa, the cooking vessel. Hope you understand. And when the water
Yes.
is, the fire brigade people, when they are putting water on the fuel, obviously it is going up in the air in the form of water vapor. Yes or no?
Yes.
So you can understand that the whole building is covered by water vapor when the fire brigade is working on it. What is happening? Now this water vapor is making a cover, a blanket around the building, the burning fuel. Is this clear?
Yes, ma'am.
And what it is
Yes,
doing
ma'am.
when it becomes a blanket, when this water vapor becomes a blanket, obviously it is not allowing the oxygen from the atmosphere to let inside. Yes or no? So it is controlled. So two ways it is controlled. One, the fire brigade is bringing down the temperature below the ignition temperature. Is the first thing that is removed. Secondly, oxygen supply is controlled. Is this clear? Hence,
Yes, ma'am.
it can have a control over. It can extinguish fire of any buildings by doing so. So the fire is extinguished. So the fire extinguisher work like this. Is it understandable to all of you, beta?
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
ma'am.
Yes? Understood, beta?
Yes.
Yes, we
Yes.
come to a close. It's already quarter to 9. Just check, beta.
Yes.
Yes, so we call it a day. I think we did hardly seven slides. Does not matter, but I hope you have understood. We are going slow, but
Yes.
I think you don't have to revise at home if you pay attention. Uh, in the class, I don't think you have to do any donkey's work. I pray you don't do
Yes.
that and enjoy. Okay. I have given you. Have I given you the this thing homework of lesson 5? I think so.
Yes.
I have given. Have I given, beta?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So please do your work, do your homework as soon as possible, and show it to your fellow
Yes,
teacher.
ma'am.
Okay. Thank you, beta. Have a
Yes.
good day, and pray you keep healthy and take care of yourself and take care of parents. Okay, beta. Bye, beta. Have a good day.
Yes.
Bye, ma'am. Have a nice day.
Bye. Have a nice day.
Bye, ma'am. Have a nice day.